settled. They have got the mechanics down there, got Tim Coleman and a number of guys down there trying to sort it out. We are now going Group B racing. Third time lucky. Andrew Craig and Scott Gooman. These guys last time out, he's grabbed the inside of PSP again 2 times in a row, but he doesn't seem to be worried about it.
No, he's using every bit of the track while it's full and full of water. And why not? While it's there, use it, but certainly he's spreading his legs everywhere at the moment.
The boys from Belclutha running very wide, coming backwards out of Aramex into the hairpin. Nicely done. All rub the tyres a little bit.
Oh, yeah, grabbed a big chunk of that tyre. That one sticking up just as you come out of the deep end drainage hairpin. Going to have to watch that. Some of these guys are coming in way too tight. Really, you want to come lower into the hairpin and exit out.
That's right. Open it up like we're seeing down at the bottom of Mike's Transport Warehouse hairpin over the far side. Jeez, he's running it wide into the final run for home. Great time, 57.449.
Oh.
Group B for Mike's Transport Warehouse. Andrew Craig and Scott Gurman have laid one down, Shrek.
Oh, mate, he's on the board with Miss Ford. There's no doubt about it, and they'll be happy because they have had a couple of disastrous runs, and I believe there's at least 2 DNFs before that. So great to see them have some joy before lunch. Going to have to work on that hairpin. That was so lucky they didn't get grabbed down there. But
yeah, it's so easy to run up on that tyre, and you can use the tyre as a BMX boom, get you back on the track, but just a couple of millimetres further to the right-hand side, it'll grab you, and then bang, you're out, just like we saw with Daryl Hutton.
Oh, nuts, he went in there so fast, so it was so good to see, like I say, these guys attacking it different ways, different angles. Keep an eye on it. It's certainly going to be the money corner. Richard Curry coming up with the line.
Yeah, the camel towing, Curry Racing, Kimberley Kennedy doing the navigational duties. They're both from the south there. Richard Curry from Clinton and Kimberley Kennedy from Cromwell.
Long way. They've come all the way up from the deep south. Of course, Richard, a deer farmer, does the big stags, talking to him actually. He does big flash hairy ones, and I think he sells them all around the world for the pointers.
Yeah, right. Is that right? Well,
yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, you would suggest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh,
Carrying on now.
Thanks for your quote, but it was too dear.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, we're having our own fun.
I know. Oh, well, that's all it's about. Oh, and bonk it down. Just too tight in there. But look, he will lost about a second in there, I would have thought, all up by the time you lose the power and you get the juice back into it again. Really easing down through the flip-flops, just trying to find his path on the way through there. And Richard Curry, not doing too bad at all, but just finding that path through there. And now across the line, not too bad, 58.179. But when you compare that to the time that Andrew Craig just said, you go, wow, that is a massive, massive difference.
Yeah, great to see. Like I say, that hairpin is where he's got to work on. A lot of these drivers need to look at going deeper and not bogging out down there. So if you can get away with trying to tidy up your line there, there's a good second and a half there. So certainly time to play.
Out of limits now, coming out for their run, Craig Shaw, Paul Collier, Craig from Upper Hutt, Paul from Levin, and this out of limits machine. The first run out, they were very untidy. Second run had an issue with the rocket cover. Third run, certainly down on pace. So we're starting to see, hopefully these guys will sort it out, but they haven't because they've just gone the wrong way. They need to come back. They've got no idea at the moment. I think they're going back up to the part of the track that they remember last, ran it wide around the top of PSP now. Now they are back on the rotation proper. It's taken them some time to get back there. So now the only thing they can expect to get out of this lap is just to really consolidate how the boat is settling, how the boat's feeling. But you're not going to do that while you're off the pace as well. So Craig Shaw and Paul Collier, qualifying round at number 4 for the Group B category, and a rotational error will throw plenty of time on the clock there. There is no doubt about that. So they're just easing their way through the remainder of the lap, and look, showing a bit of experience here to complete the lap, get a time at least, a little bit more time behind the wheel, even though it is off the pace. It sort of does help moving forward. So look at 1 minute 21.234. There's, I tell you what, that sounded like my birth date there. Plenty of numbers involved in it.
2024.
Yeah, well, that's right, mate. I'm only
Not
young.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that was true experience from Craig. Obviously, he's been campaigning around the jet sprint scene for many moons. Had a bit of a mare earlier with those rocket covers loose on his engine. Would have rattled him a little bit, but he will know. We got 5 qualifiers today, so all you got to do is just soak up a bit of time on the track, have a look at the old doubt and no doubts, the bits that you got to work on, coming back.
Carl Brentzel now out of the chute. Hamish Murray doing the navigational duties in this jet speed hull. Of course, jet speed brought to you by Eric Bryant and Richard Bird. And it is great to see the Carl Brentzel really coming to terms with this jet speed hull. And it's just looking very, very good. They build a good hull, these jet speed crew.
Oh, yeah, great hull. In fact, the engine running this one, I don't know if you ever remember when Ross Travers was in the Group B.
Yes.
And he was beating guys in the Group A. Well, that's his exact Group B motor. Bit of a pop as he went around there, but that is the actual engine in that boat.
Yeah, right.
So good little package.
Wow, that's great to see that the boys from down south coming up and having a red-hot crack. You have a look at Hamish Murray. I'd like to see Hamish wearing a coloured glove so we can see how he goes about with the animation of being the navigator there. But, I tell you, that's not a bad run there for a 55.847, and that chucks him right up the top of the table there. So the 55.847, Andrew Craig at a 57, Richard Curry at a 58, and Craig Shaw with the wrong way at, I don't know, what's that, 1 minute plus 20 seconds, it's 81 something or other. Oh, don't worry about that.
Oh. Righto, who we got coming out here? This looks like Sam Gray.
Sam Gray, Mike Allen, the fisherman.
The fisherman in the deckhand. Let's see how they go. They've certainly been laying down some pretty good times earlier. Oh, he grabbed a bit of flight through there, a little bit of island.
A little bit more of the underneath of this Stinger hull. Isn't it amazing? You see that little grab out there, and then all of a sudden the eyes are just so much more concentrated on how it's going. And look, Sam Gray really on and off the throttle here. Maybe that little early misstep up there has just played the gremlins in the back of the mind.
Yeah, he's certainly been well off the throttle. Way better entrance and exit as he got out of the old hairpin there, the deep end drainage hairpin. That's the one we're going to be watching most of the day, but certainly looking different. But the boat's very jumpy, hop skippity. He's changed something and it's not settled.
I was about to say the same thing, Leighton. They've made some adjustments here, and Sam and Mike just not feeling comfortable with it, certainly not pushing the boat as we've seen in the earlier qualifying runs.
54, still a handy time.
Yeah, straight to the top of the table, in fact.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we saw with Sam earlier. I mean, at least he's keen to try things. That is an earlier model Stinger, so a real early one. It sits higher in the water, so there's a fair bit of adjustment you can do to try and get up. Of course, here's his great mate coming out, Bryce and Kylie Barron next, and the LJ Hooker, newer version of the Stinger. Absolute beautiful little boat. So have a look how low this sits in the water. So these are both same sort of hull, but you got a new version and an old version.
Yeah, Bryce and Kylie after their first, the first run was during Q2, so they're run down on the rest of the competitors. Last time out was a lot smoother, and this is looking to be, they're out there. These guys are trying to avoid that crosswash. They're steering around it, as you pointed out earlier, mate.
Yeah, he's certainly big on the hippie shake, just going down into the hairpin there. I don't know what he's doing with that and why he's doing that, but beautifully gets himself out. No problems with the way the boat's handling. Look at it. Oh, jumped up in the back there.
Geez, you nearly spoke too soon, mate. You nearly threw the commentator's curse all over
it. It was certainly hit a big brush of water as it came, and even lifted the whole back of the boat out. So quite interesting. I think looking at that, maybe a bit of a hippie shake earlier towards the tyres. So he crossed the line, 55.
Yeah, 55.433 into P2. So great run there for Bryce and Kylie Barron.
I mean, look at that, KV. I mean, Sam Gray in the older version, and it was all over the chop. It was shaking and grooving, and we said he'd made some bad changes, but he qualifies the fastest and beats the new version one. So how does that work?
Yeah, look, it's such an interesting sport, isn't it? Because it depends on how you set it up. Because it doesn't matter the style of the hull; it's how you set it up. The engines in this Group B category all very